Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99 here, and it is February the 23rd, 2018. And believe it or not, I've got Morten Nielsen back from Biometrids. And believe it or not, we've been working on the Skype call the past 5 or 6 hours. And Morten has been super patient. Morten, thanks for joining me again. Thanks. So one of the things we wanted to talk about, there's an Apple app that I mentioned in the last video that I've downloaded that Morton wanted to talk about. And just let everybody know that Biometrics is taking huge steps forward in getting the project off the ground and into the hands of the common man here. So Morton, take it away.
Let's try it. I can see my image is stalling again. But we show the app. We have it right here. So now you can send me an identity request.
So this is the app that people are going to see on their phone, correct?
Yes, exactly. That's the way it looks. We only have one function in the app right now, and that's the identity app, where we can request a journal, or people can go to our web page and put in the request and get it to send a request for their phone.
Right. So
But
just let me jump in here for a second. So I've downloaded the app, okay, and I just want everybody to know because I don't know how clear the picture's coming in. And Morton said it, the only function that's working now is this identity here, and we'll go over that in a minute. But this icon here is real estate. This one is wallet. This one is a bank function. This is company, and this is public sector. But for right now, we're just going to talk about this one, which is the identity one, which is the bottom right there. Sorry, Morton,
yes,
go ahead.
well, now you should send me a request from
Okay,
your phone.
right. So I've got my phone here, and I'm going to
Yes, if
press.
you click on identity,
I'm going to press that green box.
no,
Request. I'm
not that
sorry.
one.
You're right.
You should just click
I'm
on
sorry.
identity.
I'm sorry. Let's do that again. I'm going to click
Yes,
on the bottom right where it says identity,
yes,
and it's going to say, please input receiver ID.
yes. Then you put in the my code. It's 7932.
Right, 7932. I don't know if you could see that. And then I'm going to press yes. And this is Morton's phone in
Then it pops
Denmark.
up. Then it's pop up on my phone requesting me to identify myself to you. So I click yes. It uses Face ID, and then it says success on my side.
Right, and on my side it says identity successful, and I'm just going to press OK.
Yes,
And that's it.
that's how it works. And this app does not store anything or something like that. It's just for showing how the system will work in the end when it's released.
Right, and Morton, you said this on the last video, and I think it was really important. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm going to have Morton say it again in this video. Let everybody know. Remember the last video we did, how you said that it's not as if with the facial recognition that's going to be stored. It's just certain points on the blockchain. Could you explain that to everybody again?
Exactly. That's what we are storing in the chain is like a string of numbers. So it's a pattern. When the system makes the identity, the computer will not recognize a face. It will recognize numbers. So it captures so-called nodal points from your face, and these nodal points will have their own unique number. And they are put into a string that the computer can read, but you can't read it So we're not storing any images
Right, right.
in the chain. We are only storing patterns
Right.
or
So,
nodal points.
so I just want everybody to know. So what Morton and I just did, if I'm a consumer, and Morton, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? If I'm a consumer, and let's say Morton is on the other end, and he's like a rental car company, or he's an airline, or he's some other type of company, all I need to do is go to the app, type in the code, and we both know exactly who we're dealing with. Right, Morton?
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. Then my code on my phone will be unique for me.
Yes.
So I need to log into my own app and use that code. If I use another person code, I should have their face to
Right.
identify them. But you would not identify unless you knew what you were identifying for.
Yes. Exactly. Right.
So you could not just get another person to identify himself through his phone for something you would have him to do, if you understand what I mean.
Okay. So, Morton, why don't we go back to the screen where both you and I can see each other and everybody else can too?
Well, I have a problem with my camera.
Okay, no, that's
Just
fine. Don't mess it up.
that's the problem. It's like my computer have cut off my camera or something.
Okay, okay, that's
So
fine.
I can't shift it back.
So what we're talking about with biometrics is facial recognition, and this is the face of Crypto Mentor 99, and no one else has my forehead, my big nose from my mother's side of the family. And as far as, again, let me get the white paper here that I always, okay, it's facial recognition on the blockchain, but our faces are just numbers and letters. They're not our faces stored on the blockchain, right, Morton?
Exactly. Your face will be put into a string of numbers and not an image stored in the database. And that's very important because if it was an image,
Yes,
everyone could see who
yes,
had that identity and it wouldn't be anonymous as it is the way we do it.
right. So if someone, I mean, I know the answer to this, but for our viewers, if someone wanted to download the app, as I did yesterday, um, they've got to have an iPhone, correct?
They need an iPhone, yes, they do.
Okay. If and when, so, let's say someone doesn't have an iPhone,
Yes,
is there going to be the roadmap further on down the road where, um,
there will be apps for other phones.
okay,
This is just our prototype, and we have made it for the iPhone at first. Hopefully, we will come with an app, also a prototype for the Samsung 8 telephone.
okay. So, and I don't know the answer to this. It's not like we rehearsed this the last 5 hours going back and forth. So if someone wanted to, if someone had an Apple phone like I do, and if they wanted to download the app, they could do that. Um, would you want viewers and subscribers to do that? And would that be of any benefit to you at this time?
Well, they can do that and they can test the app and try it.
But this is just kind of the,
That's the purpose of the app as it is now.
okay. And when is this going to be more fully developed, for lack of a better word?
Well, it will be developed for the first beta version of the system will be out in Q3 this year.
So the third
Um,
quarter, so the third quarter of this year, the beta version is going to be out.
yes, exactly.
Awesome. Okay. And for everybody that's watching I've done like 4 videos on biometrics. The first video, when I talked about the white of the white paper. This is, the roadmap is very specific. So Morton and the team knows what they're doing. This isn't something that's going to be rolled out in full maturity in the next 30 to 45 days, but every day, every week, every month, they're growing towards the beta version, which again, as Morton just said, is going to be available the third quarter of 2018.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So we're
that's
going.
our aim to have the beta version in 2018.
Okay, so what I'm going to suggest everybody does, because I just found this out the other day, and I'm being totally honest. There's a large, on their Telegram channel, on Biometrids Telegram channel, there's a lot of good dialogue, a lot of good discussion going on with people from all over the world. I'm going to put, as usual, Biometrids website below. I'm going to put their Telegram channel link below, and I'm going to put the third link will be the video that we did a couple of days ago, if everybody wants to go there and look at it again. But other than that, Morton, is there anything that you want to add before we end the video?
Well, let's show the app one last time before
Sure.
we end the video.
You bet.
Let's do that. So you press on identity on your end.
Okay, I'll do it again. So I've got my. Can you read that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay, so I'm going to press, if I can do it, my identity,
Yes,
and then it's going to pop up.
with the input,
And I'm
you
gonna
put
put in
in 7932.
7932, and then I'm going to press yes. And then
And then I get a request on my screen, and I say yes, and it uses Face ID, and it says success.
and then on mine, I get the same readout that it was successful. So
Exactly.
it's that easy, right?
It's that easy.
My mother could do this.
Well, that's the purpose of the prototype. In the real app, it will be a bit more complicated because
Yes.
we need to
Yes.
have reliability.
Right.
So it will take a bit longer to identify. When you request me, it would take a little bit longer for me to identify and send the request back.
Right. So when the beta version comes out later this year, the third quarter, it'll be a little different then.
Yes, it will.
Okay. And for everybody that's watching, I've done 700 videos or 650 in the past 5 or 6 months. Biometrids is a great example of a lot of these ICOs. They're kind of like little babies, right? They're still developing. They're learning how to crawl. They're learning how to walk. And I think a lot of times when people look at ICOs, at least maybe a little bit in the United States, they think of a company that's fully developed, that's fully mature, that's been in business for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. But a lot of these ICOs, they're like Biometrids and Morton, they're building momentum, right? So some of you may say, man, the third quarter of 2018, the beta version, this takes time and money and energy and resources, and that's what the ICO is about. So,
Exactly.
so Morton, tell us a little bit about the ICO and stuff, if there's anything that you want to add.
Well, as I said the other day, we have Anton added to our team member. So now we have a pretty strong team ready to develop this. So it's just a question about when we can start developing the things.
Okay. So if people want to go to your website and sign up for their newsletters, would that be a first easy step that you'd like them to do to become more familiar with Biometrids?
For sure, we are sending out emails about our system and how our ICO works and so on. So that would for sure be a good first step.
Okay, okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to add to let everybody know about you or the team or this app?
Well, our aim is to have the beta version out in this year. And as you said, it takes some time
Yeah,
to develop this, as we are brand new and we're very very small. But when we succeed with this, it will be an incredible app that will change everything in the world.
yeah,
And it sounds a bit crazy to say, but if this is done and when it's done, then it will for sure change how we work on the internet and how we use the internet, and the internet will be a more
yeah,
trusted place.
yeah. No, that's good. Right, 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 right. Well, Morton, as always, again, I said this at the beginning, we've been working on this video for the past 5 or 6 hours, and Morton's been very patient. I'm like, hey, just let me know. We're doing the Skype call. So, Morton, I appreciate it. Thanks for taking time out of half of your day to get this video done. And
Well, thank you for having me here, John.
hey, no
It's a
problem.
pleasure.
Yeah, we will do this again. And for everybody, I'm going to have all my links below, not my links, all of Biometrids links below. And go there, check it out. And as always, yeah, we need some more eyes on Biometrids. And we wanted to do this little information video to help spread the word. So anyhow, Morton, I appreciate it, and we'll do another interview at another time, okay?
We do that, John.
Okay, see you
Thank
later.
you. Thank you for
Bye
your time.
bye.
Bye bye.